Welcome to the channel. Today, we're lifting the lid on a shadowy and little-known Cold War operation, Operation Crowbar. Buried beneath layers of classified documents and covert manipulation, this operation reveals just how far intelligence agencies would go to shape public opinion and disrupt ideological threats, even inside friendly territory. Operation Crowbar wasn't about guns or spies in trench coats. It was about influence. Launched by the CIA in the mid-20th century, its main goal was to secretly undermine communist ideology by infiltrating media, academia, and culture in Europe and the West. The operation aimed to crowbar open the minds of intellectuals and steer public sentiment away from Marxist and Soviet narratives. This wasn't propaganda in the old sense. It was stealthy, subtle, and smart, designed to appear organic and independent. At the heart of Operation Crowbar were fake cultural fronts, funding of anti-communist writers, and manipulation of publishers, magazines, and film production. The CIA funded and influenced everything from academic conferences to literary journals, all under the guise of independent thought. Publications like Encounter magazine, for instance, were secretly subsidized by the CIA to promote pro-Western, anti-Soviet intellectual content. Even famous artists and authors were unknowingly pulled into the operation. Grants and fellowships flowed from foundations that were actually CIA fronts, giving the agency enormous soft power in shaping Western culture without firing a shot. The operation was heavily focused on Europe, especially in countries where communist parties had popular support, like France and Italy. By influencing intellectuals, journalists, and thought leaders, the CIA hoped to win hearts and minds not with violence, but with carefully curated narratives. Operation Crowbar's success depended on secrecy. Once exposed, it would have undermined the very trust it was trying to build. And that's exactly what happened. By the late 1960s, journalists and researchers began uncovering the truth. The scandal triggered public backlash, especially among intellectuals who felt used and betrayed. Operation Crowbar blurred the line between truth and manipulation. While it arguably helped limit Soviet influence in Western culture, it also damaged the credibility of institutions that were supposed to stand for freedom and independent thought. It showed that even in democracies, the battle for influence can get very dirty and very personal. The story of Operation Crowbar reminds us that during the Cold War, the war of words was as fierce as the war of weapons. When culture becomes a battleground, truth is often the first casualty. If this story intrigued you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And join us next time as we expose more hidden chapters of history. Stay curious and stay informed.